versus wing choke.
Wet lumbar.
North-south matrix. I'm slowly passing this open guard. Turn another way. I'm passing his guard. I'm thinking how to get him like a feet is here, and instead of winding up here, see how he already has an underhook here. Okay, I'm gonna step over the head here and get him into the north-south matrix with this Kimura attack. Okay, what I want to do is a couple points north-south matrix. I want to get this Kimura grip. It forces him to defend his arm. Okay, and that's fine. My hand can be with one hand or two, but when I slide this left one in, I hook this hand up so that it's a lot harder for him to unloop it. Because if your hand's like this, he can just bring it down and unloop it. When your hand's literally like this, okay, it's a lot harder for him to unloop it. Because if he starts messing with it, it's literally, he's giving you the Kimura. So it's always up and pinching. Now that frees this hand right here to do a lot of stuff right here. The next thing is, I gotta be in the saddle. This is the saddle. His neck, his shoulder, and his head, okay, is the saddle. I keep driving this knee forward and pinching my knees with my feet wide. I don't want to cross my feet. Does me no good because it unpinches the knees. The pressure I want is with the knees, and I keep driving forward. The next part is, this hand right here is either going to be completely cut out like this, where they're out, or you're gonna have it stapled here, or you may miss it and they're gonna be here and they're surely gonna be defending their top arm with the bottom arm like this, but you're still in the north-south matrix, okay? From here, I can still access this arm here, and I wanna be here, because I wanna be pushing his hand that's on top to the mat. Because what happens here is, I look and I see, what are my options? From here, what I like to do is I keep my chest to his top elbow because I'm constantly pushing it down so I can see that his hand is on the mat. When you push that top arm down and that fist goes to the mat, the ability to grab much is limited. But I don't really want to go for a Kimura from here because this arm's in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my own collar here, okay? For those of you who are no gi, just keep the hand up, okay? And keeping the elbow pinched right here, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this hand with that seat and I'm gonna push it out and I'm just gonna bring it up that way. Now I'm here, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I wanna take a big step with my foot going into the armpit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of go here, here, and I'm gonna drive my left foot, move forward as I tilt left, and this one just goes here. The second that this one is driving the heel back, okay, whether I'm here or here, I can still be here. I'm gonna start opening this knee up this way, and I want to draw my hip on his head gently for training purposes. But this, I want here. As this comes over, and I get that leg separator right in that armpit. You have the collar, you're here. Because now it forces him to defend the arms. This is phase 2. Elbow to elbow is phase 1. Elbow to elbow. That's phase 1. There's 3 phases. Phase 1, this is the strongest defense. I'm blocking here. I'm gonna push my calf. It goes to phase 2. This is phase 2. Phase 3 is the complete separation. This is phase 3, and me rolling it thumb up and finishing arm lock. So you have to be very aware the phase you're in, because you can't finish an arm lock in phase 1 or 2. It's only in 3. And that 3 is controlling the wrist. Because if we go from phase 1, and what I'm doing is I'm opening my knee on his face here. And this is just a frame, because I'm pulling from phase 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, and I'm here. If he's all twisting this way, this way, this way, my objective is to maneuver his hand so it's breaking opposite of the thumb. So if his thumb is pointed this way, it's gonna break this way. If he rolls his thumb this way, then it's gonna break that way. If he somehow rolls his thumb this way, it's gonna bring this way, and if it's all like down, then it breaks up. But if you notice, this foot stays open. what I'm not doing is, go to phase 2. I'm not doing this. This does me no good. In fact, it helps him because it really, yeah, exactly. It helps him do that, okay? I want to keep this hook, and I just want to push on his head and tilt and separate with this frame, and that's it. And then this goes to here, and I finish. Now, if we reverse it, we were here, we were here, and we were here, let's say north-south matrix. And then we came here. So how we get to north-south matrix, we got side control, and I'm just walking over his head and tilting him this way and immediately go for that hand. He can sneak that hand through because this is probably best for the bottom person here. And I have this arm hooked here. Bring my collar down here, take his hand, and I separate it down here if you can. There's other things we can do if you can't separate the hand, okay? From here, I have this control here. I can even grab his leg from here as I drive myself forward, tilt left, and just step over here. The second you step over, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here you don't need this. Your hand just goes on your thigh, and pull, and separate. Okay. I don't want to do too much because I know his shoulders are messed up. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you're just gonna start. Just get on to your right side. North-south matrix, saddle, and attack. And here, sometimes I can't even get it right here, but I'll have it here. So now I can go here, grab here, I push it down, and here. From here, I can go back to the Kimura. Okay. And remember, I keep driving his hand to the mat. I can see how his hand is holding. I can also finish the Kimura here by pulling it into my left bicep. Sitting on that saddle and twisting. But if he's got a deep bite of his gi right there, yeah, and it's all tucked in there, we're full. I'm just gonna reach arm lock here, and I'm just gonna pull myself forward so I can take a big step here and yeah. And just plant your forearm on your leg and keep opening. This foot ideally will hook that hip so he can't really walk, but it's fine if you don't. From here, I'm just stiff, and I'm gonna pull. And finish. Okay? Don't do this. Grab your hand. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's hooking because I want to prevent him also from doing something smart, which is this hand grabs this collar and he pinches his elbow, and now that hand becomes free to unloop. So I don't want him to do that either. So that you always have this control and you always have that armpit hook. Because from here, it's not hard to remove that, but you have a split second to do it because if he begins to just swing his arm that way, I have to be able to lock him up this way now and then finish the arm lines this way. So you have to be aware of what's going on. That's why it's important to be admiring your work instead of going, and like looking up, because you want to bow your back and finish, right? So from north-south matrix, let's staple that arm. One last time, on your right side. We'll just start right here, sitting on the saddle, north-south matrix. He defends the top arm with the bottom arm, right here. I'm gonna loop it through more. 1, 2, here, collar. Hold him more like a fetus. Ram, get this in deeper, and all right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Starting the north-south matrix.
David, go with what?